Ever since Sofia Klein's husband passed away 15 years ago, she would often ask herself about the intricacies of life and her place in it. She would question what a mature woman like herself must look forward to when life was just a set of difficult choices. Sofia was a lonely woman, and her two children, Alex and Lena, had their own families. She only saw them during the holidays, and even then, they never spent time with her. She understood this. They had their own lives to live, and she would console herself. So at least 3 times a week, Sofia would go to the cafe across the street and sit by the window. She would spend her day reading books and watching strangers she would never see again walk past the window. She lived a lonely but good life. She retired from the successful business she had built with her husband and lived in a luxury apartment that was all paid for, so it was good that she never had to worry about money. However, Sofia's life would take a turn when the cafe hired Malik, a young barista from Africa who was an exchange student. Initially, Sofia was annoyed with Malik when he got her orders wrong, but how he made it up to her softened her fury. For example, there was a morning when Sofia ordered a macchiato and Malik brought her a latte. When she asked him to change, he told her that he thought she should try his latte instead, which infuriated Sofia. The following day, when Sofia came, Malik ran to the table she usually sits at, wiped it down, and placed a rose, a bottle of mineral water, a glass, and a simple note that read, "To the beautiful young woman who likes to watch people, please accept my apology, and in the future I will closely watch you so that I read you right the next time." After Sofia read that, she chuckled and looked at the young man who was glancing at her from behind the counter. As Sofia and Malik's eyes met, she slowly raised the flower, smelt it, and waved at him. All was forgiven. Sofia and Malik's little escapades didn't end there. Another day, Sofia ordered a latte, and Malik brought her a cappuccino. When she protested, he told her that the drink was his, but he wanted her to have a taste while he made hers. He lied, and she knew it, but appreciated the thought. So that day, when Malik brought her the cappuccino, he sat down with her and finished the latte that Sofia left. "You and I have to stop being strangers. I am Malik. I had wanted to introduce myself for a while now, but I was kind of shy," Malik said to Sofia as he sipped the latte. Sofia didn't give an immediate answer, but when Malik said, "So are we going to continue being strangers then?" Sofia laughed and thought Malik was being silly. "I am Sofia Klein, and yes, now that I spend most of my mornings here, I agree that we have to stop being strangers. Call me Sofia, though, and not Mrs., Sofia told him. Sofia and Malik became friends. Every time she came, he placed a quote he downloaded from the internet on her table, and in return, she let him spend his breaks with her. "Tell me, Malik, how was life from where you came? And where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?" Sofia asked Malik during one of the breaks they spent together. "I am from Ghana. Actually, I don't know where I am from, but I am a Ghanaian citizen. My mother is from Nigeria, and my father is Ghanaian. So I come from Nigeria and Ghana," Malik told Sofia, who was surprised by his genuine answer. "You really mean it, don't you?" "Well, you are from both places," Sofia told him and went back to her book. For several weeks, they got to know each other, and at times they debated about social justice, colonialism, Africa, Europe, and everything in between. But one subject they never explored or dared ask each other was about relationships. However, when Sofia asked Malik when he would introduce his girlfriend to her one morning, he simply brushed it off and told her that the woman he likes is in a galaxy of her own, and that he won't settle for anything less than what his heart desires. At first, Sofia told him that what he was going through was the idealism of youth. But when Malik told her that he couldn't approach the woman he was interested in, Sofia was curious. "You definitely are not a shy person, so why don't you ask her out? Any woman would be lucky to have you as her boyfriend," Sofia told him. As soon as Sofia uttered those words, Malik surprised Sofia. "Why don't you take your own surprise, then? You are the woman I want to date. I am genuinely and truly interested in you, but you won't date me because of some abstract line that society has put in place that says age must be a factor. I'm 25 years old, and you are 61, so that's that, Malik said, taking Sofia by surprise. Almost choking on her macchiato, Sofia said, "You are interested in me? You do realize I have children who are way older than you." Sofia then got up, and Malik watched her leave. However, as she was about to exit, she turned her head around, and her eyes met Malik's. Without giving anything away, she turned away and went away. Malik was flabbergasted and blamed himself. "What were you thinking? She is now all gone, and she won't come back. I am lucky if she doesn't get me fired. All this for having a crush on a woman. She is a fine woman, though. She is fine. Isn't she?" Malik told himself, as he internally debated what had transpired. In the end, he didn't care. A job is a job, and the prize is worth it, he convinced himself. As Sofia didn't return for the next 2 days, Malik was sure she would never return. But Sofia returned, and when she did, she called Malik and told him that she no longer wanted him to spend his breaks with her, which he welcomed. "I am sorry, and thank you for not getting me fired. It's true I like you, but it's okay. I won't bother you again, I promise," he told her. Sofia didn't say anything back, but only replied that she was ready to make her order. When her order arrived, she had her drink and left. It went on like this for several days until one morning a bicycle knocked Sofia down as she was crossing the road. That morning, it was Malik who called the ambulance for her, and it was him who was with her in the ambulance, having forgotten all about his cafe job. It was only around noon that he came to his senses when the doctors told him that Sofia would make a full recovery, although she broke her leg that he had remembered about his job. When he returned to his job, his boss was understanding and commended him for going above and beyond for a loyal customer, such as Mrs. Klein, he told him, so he was off the hook. However, every day, Malik visited Sofia at the hospital and read her books and told her stories. Weird stories that he heard, which made Sofia hurt her ribs with laughter. Sofia spent a week in the hospital, and when she was discharged, Malik arranged a taxi for her and accompanied her home. As Malik took the day off, he went and did Sofia's grocery shopping, cooked her delicious food, neatly put it in plastic containers, and put it in the freezer. Every evening after Malik finished his job, he came over to Sofia's place to tidy up the place for her. And whenever Sofia was tired, Malik would do his reading, but if she wasn't, the two would be immersed in talking and joking. Then, one evening, as they were joking, Sofia thanked him and apologized to him. "I am sorry if my actions hurt you. I was only doing it for you. To be honest, I was also doing it for myself because the worst thing that can happen to a lonely old woman like me is to fall for a young man that I am almost thrice his age, and only to end up with a broken heart, if not worse," Sofia told Malik. It was the first time they spoke about their little truth at the cafe several weeks back, and Malik was not going to waste this opportunity. "I never saw you as an old woman or a lonely woman, for that matter. All I saw was a beautiful woman that I became fond of, and I made my move. It didn't turn out well, but I suppose I knew that. I find you very interesting, and I wish you gave me a chance, but I understand," Malik told her. However, as soon as he said those words, Sofia leaned in and kissed him, and, as she did so, whispered, "Don't you dare break my heart." Every day after his university and work at the cafe, Malik spent whatever time was left with Sofia, and although the two were in a relationship, they kept it under wraps. It was their secret, but as the weeks and the months came and went, their relationship got stronger and stronger, and the two were no longer hiding their affection for each other. Several times, the cafe owner, Mr. Charles, got a glimpse of Malik kissing Sofia during his breaks, and soon enough, everyone knew that Sofia and Malik were madly in love. As is the case with all things, word reached Sofia's children that their mother had fallen head over heels with a young African man. When Sofia's children heard that, they surprised her with a visit. "Mum, "We heard that you are in a relationship, and we are concerned for you. We heard that the boy you are seeing is African, and you know there is more than love going on here," Sofia's son told her, but her daughter interrupted him. "Mum, my brother is right. You are soon going to celebrate your 62nd birthday. It doesn't look good, and who dates a woman old enough to be their grandmother anyway?" Sofia's daughter, Lena, told her mother. Sofia had heard enough, and she was not going to take it anymore. "Lena," Sofia began, addressing her daughter, "I love you, and you are a wonderful daughter. And you too, Mike, I love you. You are my son, but please do not for 1 second think you can speak for me or dictate who I am allowed to be with. It's simply none of your business. We both know you didn't come to visit me out of the goodness of your hearts, so why don't you go back to your lives and let me live my life the way I want it?" Sofia told them, and the matter was closed. Mike and Lena returned to their families, but they were not done. The following week, Sofia discovered how quickly a person's life can be undone. With a stroke of the pen, Mike's lawyers froze all of Sofia's credit cards and everything she owned, and when Sofia sought legal help, there was little anyone could do. Mike took advantage of the power of financial attorney that his mother gave him after his father passed away. What was meant for an emergency intervention was used to enforce their tyranny over her private life. For the next 3 months, Sofia only got a fraction of her monthly allowance and relied on Malik, but the financial stress that Mike put on his mother was not enough for him. His lawyers gave Sofia notice to vacate her flat, and seeing how his fiancée was being persecuted merely for being in love with him, Malik, a law student, advised Sofia to put up a fight, and she agreed. So Sofia sued her 2 children for abusing the financial power of attorney she gave them. Unfortunately for Sofia, the judge who heard the case wasn't satisfied that a 62-year-old woman and a 26-year-old man could be in a genuine, no-strings-attached relationship. That's why when Sofia heard the judge say that he believed Malik was taking advantage of her, and went as far as to tell Malik that he was the culmination of the moral decay of society, a vulture preying on the weak, Sofia was very hurt. With no money and no place of her own, she finally accepted Malik's offer to move in with him. Malik worked 2 jobs for the next 2 years and finalized his law degree while Sofia established an e-business. She sold used books online, and although the money the business made was not enough, she was grateful that she was at least earning something. Malik and Sofia's relationship blossomed, despite the many attempts to derail them. Sofia's children, Mike and Lena, left no stone unturned to separate Malik and their mother. When all else failed, Mike hired a private detective to find anything incriminating he could find out about Malik. But when they found nothing, Mike paid someone to provoke Malik so that when Malik stood up for himself, false witnesses could claim that it was Malik who started the fight. Mike wanted Malik to get a criminal record, and there was nothing and no one that would stop him from ruining the man his mother was seeing. Then, one evening, as Malik was walking back from his work, a thug hired by Mike assaulted him, and when he defended himself, Mike got what he wanted. Malik was arrested for assault. At the police station, Detective Anna Novak interviewed Malik. From the onset, the detective understood that something was off, and when she pressed Malik, he told her everything that had been happening to him and his fiancée. Malik told the detective how Mike and Lena were bullying them. He told the great lengths they went to separate him from Sofia, but when Detective Anna heard Malik, she promised that she would help him if his story checked out. Detective Anna then went to the fight scene, and although it was an empty street, she saw a Tesla parked there. Being a car buff, Anna knew that the Teslas had cameras running all the time, and although it was a long shot, she looked for the owner. It didn't take long to find the owner. He was one of the tenants of the nearby flats, so when Anna told him what had happened, the Tesla owner promised that he would check his car video, and that he would forward the video to the email detective Anna had given him. Still, it was a long shot, as he wasn't sure whether his car was parked there or not when the fight happened. Nonetheless, Malik was lucky, and the Tesla was parked at the same spot where the fight occurred. As soon as Detective Anna saw the video, she saw the assault on Malik, so Malik was cleared. The detective then rounded up the group, And it didn't take long for the man who assaulted Malik to confess and implicate Mike. Detective Anna arrested Mike and his sister, and their persecution of their mother came out during their trial. The court had no choice but to return Sofia's power of attorney to her. As a result, Sofia's flat and her money was returned to her. At the trial of her children, Sofia cried when she recounted the great lengths her children went to persecute her and her fiancé. She promised them that she would marry the love of her life. "Every time any one of you needed me, I was there for you, and whenever I needed you, you were nowhere to be found. You had your lives, because I was the lonely old woman. But as soon as someone came into my life, someone who showed there was more to life than wasting away in a lonely flat, you made it your mission to ruin us, and you succeeded. You took away everything I owned and worked my entire life for. The only thing you couldn't take away is the love between me and my fiancé," Sofia told her children. As Mike and Lena were sentenced to prison, Sofia and Malik relocated to another state to get away from the hurt and painful memories. Malik graduated with a law degree and was taken in by one of the top law firms. A year later they got married and lived a happy life. Their age didn't factor into their love life. All they were to each other were simply a man and a woman who fell in love.